I don't think people realize exactly how competitive real estate is.
Yeah.
Even among your friends and family, you're going to end up competing against other agents. Welcome to Gravity, the podcast about pulling clients into your real estate business. If you're a real estate agent trying to grow your business, this is the podcast for you. So sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. Which, honestly, for any newbie starting out, that really is, moving even no matter how far you get in your career, your sphere of influence is you're going to be your strongest source of potential business anytime. I don't think people realize exactly how competitive real estate is. Even among your friends and family, you're going to end up competing against other. I was at a pool party over the summertime. There was 10 people there, and there was one guy who was getting ready to sell his house, and 4 real estate agents in the pool.
Yeah, that's how it is. You throw a nickel in this town, and
right,
you're gonna hit 5.
Exactly. So sometimes it's even more than working your friends and family. You got to work them hard. You really got to have tight relationships. They really got to understand what you're doing, what your business is about. I remember, and I think this is about 10 years ago, I had a friend of mine who was running our softball team, and he came to me and asked me to sponsor the softball team. At the time, I had a real estate company. I said, sure. So I spent the $350 for the shirts, had my logo on there. I'm like, great, I'm the sponsor of the team. I'm sure this will result in some business. The guy who asked me to sponsor the team, knowing that I owned a real estate agency, sold his house about 6 months later, bought another house. And I said, dude, like, what's going on? You didn't use me. Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I didn't know you did that. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? So, he obviously knew I had a real estate company, but I wasn't top of mind because I didn't do a good enough job at that time of being in front of him. At the time he was going to make his decision, and another one of his friends ended up getting that transaction. So my $350 didn't really get to pay off for me. But I think that really drives home the point that even among your friends and family, there is a certain tactic and approach that you need to do in order to earn those referrals from even people that know and care about you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not always easy. There's so many other realtors out there. Someone has a cousin, a sister, mother, a neighbor, someone at church. No matter where you look. So you have to make yourself unique and stand out however you can.
Definitely. So how do you do that?
Finding, for me, I surrounded myself with people that had the same common interests. So if you don't belong to a group, a club, join one. If you can't find one, start one. So there's a lot of different ways that you can build it on your own. But Facebook groups. Yeah, it's easy.
I was you made a funny point because that's one of the premises that I'm working on at my agency, which is, all right, it's 2020 and we're now in the middle of COVID. And some of those activities that we used to do to help connect us with people, softball teams and church groups and events and things like that, networking where you go out and meet a bunch of people are not happening now. So in an environment in which people are becoming less social, the digital aspect of it becomes more and more important. So tell me a little bit how you've adapted as we've been all dealing with this COVID situation to make sure that you're still able to connect with people and your sphere of influence and things like that through activities when we don't have those same activities that we're used to doing.
Honestly, I've just been picking up the phone and calling people. As simple as that sounds, texting people. I used to do a lot of pop buys, so bringing small gifts to past clients or just people that I know. Going to their place of work was really effective because when you bring in treats, people want to know who did those treats come from. And it gets people talking about you. You leave some cards with them and ask for those referrals. Awesome. If anyone in your office is looking for a good realtor, you know who to, send them to.
So a personal touch. You really go the extra mile.